Welcome, welcome. I am Janelle Williams. I serve as a program manager of learning and practice at the CIS National Office. I want to thank you all for joining us today in celebration of all the 2021 graduates across the nation. We will be celebrating our CIS frontline members today, those who have been out in the communities and helping our students and families to make sure they had all the resources they needed through this crazy pandemic year. I am so excited to be working with this panel because this work is near and dear to me. I am a CIS kid. I grew up in CIS. I don't remember ever not being in CIS. And I love the program so much that I came back and I've been working here in some capacity for the last almost 6 years now. This has been a tough year for us all, right? I actually lost my site coordinator this year. Shout out to Barbara Castellanos Dooley of CIS of Baytown. Shout out to Baytown, my hometown. This work is just, I love what we do. I love what we represent. It's the gift that keeps giving for me. So I just am so proud of my alumni status and to be a part of this organization as an employee. But enough about me. This is a celebration day, but we are going to take a moment to reflect on the heroic efforts as well as all the magnificent work that our site coordinators are doing. We'll chat with our site coordinators about the challenges they faced this year with keeping students engaged virtually. I'm sure many of you can relate to that. Some lessons they learned from it and looking ahead at how we'll work on re-engaging our students next school year. So I'm excited. But first, would like to celebrate a few folks who are joining us virtually. So with that said, we would like to, give me just a moment here. All right, so the first winner of a $10 Amazon gift card goes to Kel O'Leary. Yay, Kel. Thank you for being an early bird and being the first person to log on. And we have another prize. Our second prize goes to Tej Singh of CIS of Houston. Hey, Tej. I know Tej. Thanks for shouting out a colleague in the chat box. Participation matters, so we appreciate you doing that. But we'll have more opportunities through the afternoon to give out more prizes. We're going to shift a little bit and meet our featured guest. As critical players in an organization dedicated to surrounding students with a community of support, CIS site coordinators know the impact that a caring adult can have on a student's path to graduation. So with that said, it is my honor to introduce to you Gabby Flores of CIS Brazoria County.
Hi.
Colby Owens of CIS Twin Cities. And Mimi Tran of CIS Houston. Thank you all for joining us today. We're going to go ahead and jump into some questions and get to know you guys and talk about the significant role you play. So I am going to start with you, Colby. Can you share your CIS story with us and how you started working with students?
Yeah, absolutely. And so my story starts, I would say, when I started working at the juvenile center, at a psychological residential treatment facility and at a crisis center. I saw kids at their lowest points in their lives, whether they committed some crimes, some very heinous crimes, whether they're addicted to alcohol or drugs, or if they made like an attempt on their lives, just an array of tragedy. And these kids were hurt. They were badly hurt. And I felt like I was very reactive in the work that I was doing. That I was just simply responding to pain. That's what it felt like at the moment. And I felt like most of them had something in common, and that was that they either didn't have much support around them or that there was like some lack of resources that they couldn't obtain on their own. And so I knew I wanted to be a lot more proactive in the work that I was doing, and I saw an opportunity to work with CIS, and I knew I had to be a part of this. And so this was a great opportunity for me to make an impact on the youth before they start making some of those mistakes where they get to the lowest lows. So I had to take that opportunity, and I've been working for CIS for 2 years now. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm at a school in St. Paul, Minnesota through CIS Twin Cities. So word up to all my colleagues and my boss out there. And it's been amazing. It's been a great opportunity for me.
That is amazing. I love that. Yes, let's cheers to being proactive and catching these kids and having that one-on-one trusting relationship, right? We know the value of that. Gabby, how about you? What's your story? Well, I know your story, but share with everyone else your story and how you started working with students.
Yes, definitely. I started off with I was going for my teaching certification. Shout out to all those amazing teachers and all the hard work they put in. And I realized that teaching was not really the path I wanted to go. And so, going to the school, doing the observation, the student teaching, I really saw that there was a need to be an advocate for kids. And that's where I was able to meet the coordinator that for CIS that was there on my campus, get to know a little more about the program. And I said, yes, this is what I want to do. I think I definitely would like to go that way. And I will be starting this year, my 7th year with CIS. And I'm very excited to be that voice, that advocate for kids, and, just to be that person that kids know is there for them. So
Yeah.
that's my story.
Oh, I'm so glad that that's your story and that I'm so glad that we had an opportunity to work together. I think it's so important too. Like, I love that you shout out teachers because we're not there to compete. We're there to collaborate with them, right? And the work we can accomplish together is amazing. It's a powerhouse. And Mimi, share with us your story and how you got started working with students.
Hi, everyone. So before I was at CIS, I was a teacher for 5 years. I felt like I wanted to teach more than just academics. I noticed that there was a need for mental health support. So then I decided to go get my master's at University of Houston, go Cougs, at the Graduate College of Social Work. Yes. And so during my program there, I actually got the opportunity to do my first internship with CIS. And so doing my internship at CIS, I was at Lone Star College North Harris, woo-hoo, and really appreciated what my field instructor, Linda, taught me. And so after I graduated, Harvey hit, and I was like, oh no, I don't know what to do. And then, I jumped right in with CIS at KIP 3D Academy, and with the support from the CIS Houston team, I've become a stronger social worker, and I really appreciate them.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, social work is key. I'm biased though, right? But that's amazing. Thanks for sharing those stories. So the next thing I want to start with, and Gabby, I'll start with you, is can you share how your affiliate has supported students and families during this difficult time of COVID and racial reckoning? We've had a wild year. So what has your affiliate done to support students?
Yes, definitely for COVID, lots of resources. We've been able to partner with the Houston Food Bank. And so we provide a lot of mobile pantries that come out to different campuses in our area. And then financial support through different agencies like United Way, definitely just providing lots of resources to help families, even with mental health support. COVID has really hit people very, very hard, and all of us very hard. So definitely lots of mental health support. As far as racial reckoning, our director, our executive director, definitely shared with us, her passion about being willing to listen to others and just being open-minded, allowing mainly kids and our students to be able to share how they feel. And I think that will definitely help us as site coordinators to listen, to understand, and just be there to be that support. And I think, we're living in a time that's very difficult, with different things that are going on in our time and in our society right now, and just being able to listen and understand. And so I think that that really has helped me personally, with the racial reckoning that's going on all over. And just being that support. And I think that that really helped me, and mainly coming from our director, just really telling us we're here to listen, we're here to be your support when you feel that things aren't going the way you wish they would go. So I think that that was something that really inspired and impacted me as a site coordinator and as an employee as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you, Donna Montes, for spreading that right across our affiliate. But that's so important to seek to understand, right? Like, we can't empathize until we can meet them where they are and put ourselves in their shoes, and then we can, that's empathy at its core. So, Mimi, how about you? How has CIS of Houston and your affiliate worked to support students in this wild year?
Oh, this year was something for sure. Well, CIS of Houston, we are at several school districts. So we're at A-Leaf, which is where I'm at. Woo woo, go A-Leaf. Aldine, we're at Fort Bend. We are in Spring Branch. We're also in HISD Houston, and then also with Lone Star Colleges. And so with that, I am so thankful that we have so many partnerships. CompuDot came in to give students laptops, make sure that they were equipped with what they needed for virtual learning. Houston Food Bank, they created new mobiles, which was really great to have on our campuses. My campus had Backpack Buddy, and that helped a lot. It was hard to coordinate it this year because I had to do both virtual and in person, but I had to create something so that all the kids, all the families got the food that they needed weekly. And then of course, working with the school district, A-Leaf ISD this past year, we were able to do home visits because a lot of students weren't showing up to school. And so we collaborated with A-Leaf ISD with their family liaisons. And we divided and conquered to so many different parts, different neighborhoods and things like that to make sure they have what they needed. Do they need any resources? Do they need help connecting to the classes online, things like that? So that was really great. And with the racial issues, that was something that was really hard for me personally. With the rise in Asian hate crimes, I had to do something about it, especially after the Atlanta shootings during spring break. Spring break was not spring break last year, and it was not spring break again this year for me. And so I was able to reach out to our CEO, Lisa, and I was really, really happy that she reached out to me, connected me with Cecilia, with our DEI team, and we were able to have and celebrate Asian Pacific Islander Month, something that I've always wanted to do. And with that, we were able to have newsletters with resources to share with our colleagues, lunch and learns to have discussions about it. And with these resources, we were able to share it with our campuses. And with that, it also encouraged me to also have it on my campus. And I am so grateful for my principal at Leeseman Elementary, Mr. Galindo. He was like, yes, let's make it happen. And he was involved with the event as well. He read a book to the kids. We had the whole campus, teachers, classes involved with prompts of like, why are we celebrating this? Why is this important to us? And I was very happy to have that opportunity to represent the API community.
I think that's so important what you said. I think that we need to realize that racial reckoning involves all of us, right? It's not a
Yes.
black and white issue. It's not any color. Like it's a human issue, and we all have to um, educate, and people have to seek to understand. How about you, Colby? Tell us a little bit about, because you are in Twin Cities. I feel like ground zero of the Black Lives Matter movement
Right.
and George Floyd. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was a crazy year. And so the question asks support students and families. I first want to also mention that we are here to support staff members as well in the school. At times, it's easy to kind of overlook them when there's so much going on, and there's students we have to worry about and families we got to worry about. We got to make sure we take care of the people in our school as well. And this process started before COVID, right? We began this process by building rapport with people, building the relationships. So we set a foundation that if something does happen, something so drastic as a pandemic, that we were ready for it. And so the support that we gave wouldn't have been received as well if we didn't have those relationships. That is the core of what we do. So of course we provided basic needs like food, clothing, hygiene products throughout COVID. We delivered it to their houses. We also had like a weekly drop-off center at the schools where families could come and pick up what they needed. With the mental health services that we provide, that we brought in, they turned into virtual groups. And within those groups, due to the racial reckoning, they had circles to just go over all the trauma that the Twin Cities is facing. But I think most importantly, aside from the basic needs, the mental health, we were simply there for the families and students, and they may not get that at home. They may not get that in the community. And that's what's so amazing about community in schools, is that we were the foundation, a stronghold for a lot of these families and these students during these times. And so with our weekly check-ins, just a simple phone call to these families did the world to them. We provided a lot of help, not just through our the basic needs, or meeting their basic needs in mental health, but just by being there arm in arm with our families, arm in arm with our youth through these dire times. And we reiterated time and time again, we are not going anywhere. Us as individuals, us as people of color, just in general, we aren't moving. We're here together. We're through this together. And again, I'm going to reiterate and talk about this probably a bunch, but it all stemmed from the relationships that we built. Us as coordinators, as staff members, we have to build these relationships with our students, or else this work doesn't work. And so, I mean, that's how we made an impact, is by just picking each other up and then going through it together.
I love that. And what I'm hearing from the three of you is not only are relationships important with our students, but also with our collaborators, those food banks and those school districts, shout out to them, because our work wouldn't be complete without people collaborating, coming in and coming alongside us and helping us support our families. But here's my next question I have for you guys. How are you supporting yourself? What have you done for self-care this year? We'll start with you, Mimi. What are you doing for self-care?
So of course, being a social worker, self-care plan, right? You're supposed to have it in place. This year was a rough. So tried so many different things, right? But with so many things coming at me, like left, right, just everywhere. I knew I had to reach out to the employee assistance program. I needed to get the support I needed, the mental health, coping skills and processing everything that's going on, things I didn't realize I was even stressing out about. I'm like, no, things are good. Because things were worse before. So this is a little better, but still, there are things we internalize that we don't realize that we do. And so thankful for the EAP program. And, as a helper, we have to help ourselves in order to show up, really show up for these kids and these families. And so, if any of y'all are hesitant, reach out, do it. I think it's free for us with our, with CIS, I think it's
Houston.
Yes.
Your affiliate.
You.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
CIS
that's
Houston.
awesome.
Sorry.
That's offered to you guys at your affiliate, but even if it's not reach out to a friend, reach out to a colleague, talk to somebody. We're providing that service to our students. So we have to take care of ourselves. We can't pour from empty cups, I like to say. So we got to protect our peace and make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. How about you, Colby? What have you done for self-care this year?
Yeah, man. Oh, what a year. So generally what I do for self-care and my coping mechanisms revolves around being with people. I am a big time extrovert, so I get a lot of happiness from just being around individuals, either going on date night or seeing live music, going to a ball game, whatever. Just being around human beings is all I need, right?
Mhm.
But all that was stripped, and it was stripped for all of us. And so I was not in a good place whatsoever. I definitely wasn't myself. I was depressed. I was not Colby. And so luckily I am incredibly blessed to have such a good support system in my beautiful wife and my coworkers at CIS Twin Cities, Amanda, Kel, Mary, and Desiree. That's all of us. We're to the Twin Cities, and then my family as well. And so I was able to feel vulnerable, which is huge. I was able to talk through my emotions. I was allowed to cry. I was allowed to get angry. I was allowed to do all these things because I had a support system. I had people around me who loved me and who cared about me. And it was beautiful. It was lovely. And so coming out of this, I see things from a different lens in a way, because I know a lot of our students may not have that. And I couldn't imagine not having my wife in my life during this. I couldn't imagine not having these coworkers in my life. I could not imagine not having my family, because if I wasn't able to feel vulnerable and talk through these emotions through them or with them, I don't know what type of mental state I would be in right now, guys. I have no idea. And so we have to take that into consideration when we're working with our students.
Mhm.
We need to build up trust so they could break down these barriers and feel vulnerable, feel comfortable enough to let us know what's going on. And it's so vital. So going through this pandemic, I felt it, man. It was rocky, it was tough, but having these supports in my life allowed me to come out this stronger than ever. And we have to implement that in the students that we work with.
Oh man, thank you for sharing that vulnerability. Yeah, that village is so important. It's so important that we surround ourselves with the village. Like you said, you're a stronghold to the students. You need your own strongholds. So good. Thanks for sharing that. And Gabby, how have you taken care of yourself?
Yes, definitely. I have to say, I completely agree with Colby. We definitely, it's great to be able to lean on your family, your friends, coworkers. Just, I think COVID has been overwhelming for all of us. It hit immediately. It was a huge change for all of us. And, not being able to do certain things or go out and participate in certain things. It was a big change. And I think definitely being able to share with my family, um, taking mental health days, which are very important. I think a lot of times, especially me, I like to be, I'm a perfectionist, so I want things to be done a certain way. So definitely when I'm not there, I feel like the kids are gonna need me, or something's gonna happen and I'm not gonna know, but definitely taking those mental health days to just unwind and just take care of yourself. Whether it is alone or with a friend or your family, just really taking that time to just disconnect. And I think that, in the field that we're in, sometimes it's very hard to disconnect because we know that the kids need us, the families need us, and we're that support system for them. But I definitely think that, occasionally it is very important. Because Janelle, as you mentioned before, you cannot give from an empty cup, and definitely we need to take care of ourselves first.
Yes, yes, yes. Because it won't end when you're not there. You can take that mental health day. Awesome. So, all right. Well, here's a question that our last question. Can you share a personal win from this year? What's something that you're proud of and you want to celebrate? We'll start with you, Gabby.
Yes, I think for this school year, I have to say my motto was overcomer, because we definitely survived the school year. Lots of changes, lots of things that were probably out of the ordinary, not being able to be maybe in a big group or together, but we overcame, and we made it. Definitely. One thing that I can think of is, just seeing my students grow, to be successful, to be able to just survive this school year. And I think to me, that's something that I take to heart, and just being able to see them grow and, and adapt at the same time, adapt to the changes we're facing. And even for myself to be able to grow and to adapt with the current circumstances. So definitely I have to say. And you know i I have so many students that grew so much this school year, but just I'm thinking of one in specific. Just he deals with a lot of fear and anxiety, and COVID really just was hard for him. But just seeing him overcome at towards the end of the year, and we started school from the very beginning, from August, and it was a challenge for him because there was that fear, and he did lose people along the way. But just to be able to be that support for him, and to see that together we're going to get through this, that was a great thing for me. So definitely.
Awesome. Kids are so resilient, and so are we. I love that. We overcame. Colby, what's your win?
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of the year, I have a hard time looking at the small things. I'm such a big picture guy. And so what I learned over COVID is to look at the small wins. And so something like a student showing up to school like 2 days in a row, we got to praise that.
Yes.
A student maybe getting one piece of homework done for the quarter, still not passing, but getting one piece of homework done, that's a win. And so due to COVID, I'm able to see that a lot better now. But I have to share one story in particular. I'm going to try not to well up, but again, feeling vulnerable, I got to practice what I preach, right? And so there's a student she was one of the first people I worked with 2 years ago. And she just came from a couple placement centers where she was in the facility for 2 years due to mental health issues. And so one of my first interactions with her is that across from my school, there's a bridge, and she tried to jump off it. And so on the way over there, I stopped her and we sat down and we just talked. And we started building this relationship. And she would come to school high, drunk. One day she ran off with an adult and we had to call the cops, and it was this whole ordeal. But during the school year, we built this relationship, her junior year. But she wasn't doing too well in her classes, but her mental health was getting better. And we saw that, her mother saw that, and she was doing a lot better. But the counselor said that she wasn't going to graduate. There was no chance. And we said, yeah, she will. And so coming into this school year, COVID happened, and we're like, oh my goodness, this is terrible. She's doing so well in school. I'm not sure if she has the right coping mechanisms. She crushed this school year. She took night classes the entire year and over the summer. She took summer school, and my God, y'all, she graduated 2 weeks ago. From 2 years ago, trying to jump off of a bridge to literally graduating. And that just shows the impact that we can make at communities and schools. It doesn't get much better than that. At your lowest point to graduating, it's absolutely beautiful. And we need to celebrate these stories. We need to tell people about these stories. So I recommend, I bet all y'all have similar stories of kids that are just overcoming so much, and their wins are our wins. So we need to talk about this more and just make sure we share these stories with the world. So that's my success for this year.
I love that. What a win and what an overcomer. I'm going to use your word, Gab, because that is an overcomer. Mimi, I want to get you into share your win with us. What do you want to celebrate?
So my win is finding the courage to advocate for myself and for the API community. I mean, in the past couple of years, I tried to, well, no, I didn't try. I actually was able to have Lee's Golden Dragon, who came in and celebrated Lunar New Year's with my kids. And of course, with this year, with COVID, that was a little bit harder. And, I was able to create a virtual event, and so proud of myself. I was able to do it through Zoom, have students join in, things like that. And so I think it's just so important because, representation really matters. There's a lot of stuff, different holidays that my campus celebrates. Hispanic Heritage Month, Black History Month, but API Month, that's in May, where there's state testing, so many things going on, school year wrapping up. And, especially with this year, it was a really rough year. I mean, we were able to, get a vaccine for COVID-19, but there's no vaccine for hate. And so we really wanted to, celebrate the Asian Pacific Islander community as well. And I was able to get two of my CIS students, Vietnamese and Vietnamese American. They were able to be so proud of their heritage, and they got a little tech savvy as well and created a PowerPoint and shared that with the whole school. And so lots of different wins within that big win, I guess you could say.
I love that. Yes, representation matters. How else can we teach our kids they can aspire to things if they can't see the people in those roles that look like them? So that's awesome that you were able to achieve that. And I hope that you continue to do that. Well, thank you all for sharing your time and insights with us today. We really appreciate hearing from you and getting a chance to learn more about your role as a site coordinator. Your work is invaluable to our students and their families. And I'm not the only one who feels this way. Here's a special video presentation celebrating your role at your local affiliate.
I am Lisa Descant, CEO for Communities and Schools of Houston. Mimi, I am honored to be here celebrating you. Thank you for representing all of the amazing CIS of Houston student support professionals. Mimi, I have known you now for nearly 4 years, and in that time have come to admire you as a natural-born helper. Your compassion for students and their families is limitless, and you are a relentless advocate and ally. And as you care for your students, you also seek ways to improve and support our organization, and I could not be more grateful. We are all better because of you.
I'm Kel, and I'm with the CIS Twin Cities affiliate. I just want to give a huge shout out to Colby. He's a huge asset on our team, and he always makes everyone feel so welcomed. He's the most encouraging person that I know, and the way that he sees other people and their strengths is truly incredible. He's such an asset to our CIS family, and I'm so thankful he is a part of our team.
Hi, my name is Kelly Moody, Director of Program Operations with CIS of Southeast Harrison, Brazoria County. I am absolutely thrilled to be working with Gabby Flores. She has such an amazing positive impact on the lives of the students and families that she serves.
Hi everyone, I'm Amanda Sapa from CIS of the Twin Cities, and I have the pleasure of being Colby Owen's supervisor. Colby, I've said it 100 times before, but you are a rock star. Your drive and passion for helping our students succeed, especially during this challenging year, is truly amazing. From starting a food shelf out of your garage last summer to helping a student who was completely unmotivated to graduate reach that important milestone in her life. Keep up the great work. We love having you as part of the CIS family, and I'm excited to see what you and your students are able to accomplish in the years to come.
Hi, I'm Sherry Bird with Communities and Schools of Southeast Harris County and Brazoria County. I am the data specialist for Gabby Flores' team, and we are so proud of the work that she does. She does everything with heart, care, and excellence, even her data. She goes above and beyond and is always there to lend a helping hand.
My name is Eric Johnson. I'm Communities and Schools Program Director. I'm the supervisor for Miss Mimi Tran. I just wanted to say how wonderful a job she's done since she's been here, how she's always provided her campus as well as the students on our campus with the needs that they have brought to her attention, and as well as finding a wonderful balance with work and home life. Thank you so much, Mimi, for all that you've done. Congratulations. Have a great one.
It's so incredibly important that we are here honoring, celebrating, and acknowledging the tremendous work of our communities and schools, site coordinators, the centerpiece of the work. This is the engine of the vehicle that we have all been on to ensure that we are creating levers of change, not just for students, not just for schools, but for our entire community. And as we know, that has a ripples effect for the entire country. But again, at the center is this incredible work, this incredible effort. In Spanish, we like to say incredible ganas, that the site coordinators at the center of our students' lives are creating for what has been a tremendously difficult year for students who in many ways were already struggling to write the success story, to write the next chapter of their moment, their academic year. And right along the way, our site coordinators stepped up in incredible ways. And as somebody who knows what it's like to have a relationship with their site coordinator, who understands the difference between a caring adult pushing you in the right direction, holding you back when you're ready to make some mistakes, it is what we hold with us even when we grow and grow professionally, go off to find our success after high school. We hold that relationship, and that's the inspiration and the centerpiece, which is the love of the caring relationship of our site coordinators. And because you have done so in a tremendous year, whether it was on front porches, knocking on doors, you were in the hallways of apartments, you were on screens, through text, through emails, through written letters, we say thank you so much to our site coordinators for not only giving it everything you've got, but looking up and teaching us all as an organization how we can be better at what we do, because that's what's going to guide the future of this organization. And we hope the future of this transformation of public education, and it starts with you. So muchísimas gracias.